Hello traders, Jason here, swinghigh.com. I have the next two stocks in this installment to review, and they are ICON and CBPO. I want to take a quick look at something here. They're both on a similar time frame. CBPO was about a month before ICON. And basically what we have here, this green line indicates my entry on this stock. What we had was a nice uptrend and then a sweet breakout of that uptrend, indicating a lot of strength and increased momentum. After this move here, where we had a spike in volume and a big bounce off that lower trend line, it took 2 days to cover the entire range of this trend, and then slight pullback and a hard bounce. On that hard bounce, I entered as a pullback buy play and threw my stop in down here, and that was because I took an average true range below this swing rate here, which the low of that was 21.13. My stop was around 20.44, I think. So I made sure to put the stop in just a little bit more than an average true range, just so that I couldn't get shaken out in one day, based on previous action. So this ended up being a terrible trade in that it went right against me right away. The thing about this is that it was a breakout and a pullback trade. So my entry was sort of weak in that I didn't trade it specifically to one sort of trade. It wasn't necessarily a breakout trade, and it wasn't necessarily a pullback buy. So my entry was sort of weak, and then my exit was also weak because my stop, in my opinion, should have been tighter. I like the average true range below a swing, but that's better in my opinion for once I get a move. Like, say I had been in ICON since, I don't know, we have a line back here. Say I get an ICON right here on this breakout somewhere in here. After it rode up and put in a swing low, that would have been a good time to put in my one average true range stop. And I like to do those as a manual trailing stop. But I'm working with stops right now, and where I'm placing them initially and how I'm going to trail my position with them. Clearly it's a work in progress, but based on this trade, I probably should have had a tighter stop. This is definitely a breakout of the trend, so I probably should have put the stop tightly inside the trend so that if it came back in, I would have stopped out maybe down here at 22. Taking maybe a 50-cent loss, not nearly as bad as the loss I did take, which was closer to $1.75. So another pretty bad trade there in my opinion. CBPO started out pretty well. We had this nice bullish pennant, symmetrical triangle breakout. One thing that I didn't get on my breakout was a significant increase in volume, but I took one tier here anyway, sort of as a speculative thing, because it definitely did break out. Rode up the next day pretty well, and then sold off hard with increasing volume the day after. My stop was actually really tight on this one. It was actually, I think, about an average true range under my under the point where it broke out. So that made sense to me. And I got lucky many times here, as we came pretty much within a penny of my stop for almost an entire week. Then held up, which was nice. It held this lower trend line, and I was still in it, but then we basically gapped down and took me out. Things I could have done better on this trade, well, I probably shouldn't have been in it where I was at all. And then after seeing that volume, I probably should have been looking to get out, because that was significant and definitely damaging to the breakout. It took 2 days of breakout action out in one day. So a few bad trades in this series of trades, but those were also all long, and the markets did pull back. It doesn't give me an excuse necessarily, but sometimes it happens. Sometimes you're going to get drawdowns like this, and sometimes you're going to get trades in a row that don't work.